Hey, good morning. Let's try this way a little brighter. How you doing? What lights you up? Something that's been going on in my head here for the last little while. And I want to take you on a little exploration of that. Why do we use the term light up? What is going on our body that lights us up? And why do we use the term light? Is it sunshine is coming out of our eyes, our ass, whatever you want to call it? I really feel it's a vibration. It's, at least in me, when I feel lit up, I have a curiosity, an excitement, a passion, a burning kind of fire, or I don't know how to describe it in my heart, just like a bubbling, like there's some, what do they call that in the pop or whatever, the effervescence in the pop bubbling out of my system, just waiting to come out under pressure, under excitement. And how often do we experience that in our life? How often do we feel safe to be lit up, to be shining in the true essence of what's in our heart, what's in our soul? I also find that shining light has an innocence and purity about it. It's kind of like I'm opening to let the world see the essence of who I am. Now, crazily in this world, that's also become conducive for people attaching to us and to feel justified in taking another's energy. I want that for myself. I want to feel that. I want that. And I know in my life, I've always done what people would say or call holding or having your heart on your sleeve. What does that mean? So that means that my heart is wide open, and what I feel and who I am and that kind of stuff at the beginning of my life was wide open. It was right out there. People could see it. People felt that it was an invitation to sample, to take. A lot of my relationships, etc., were based on how I made people feel, and that they felt lit up, or that they felt that an abundance of energy was accessible to them. And I'm learning now in my life that that's a thing where people you can just give openly of yourself. You can just go wide open, say, hey, help yourself. It's all fine. It's part of giving, and receiving is apparently optional with other people. But in my world, it's not optional. It's like once I felt given to by a person, I want to give back. I want to stay in balance. I want excitement. But that's something that's been bred out of people on this planet. Our light is now something that needs to be conserved. It's something that has to be armored up and protected behind the walls of the fortress or the castle or whatever, because people don't have a conscious awareness of balance, of what sharing really means, what giving light and opening a person is really a gift. We as human beings were never designed to have to build a hard shell around ourselves, to build walls, to do other things. But this constant cycle of trauma, of taking, of victimhood, of being angry, of being taken from, creates this shell that goes around everyone. And it's by design. It's trying to shut everybody off. It's trying to shut down and shut off the people that are open and loving, so that everybody's closed and separated. And that's a lot of what's going on in the world right now with crises and all this kind of stuff is forced us to no longer have touch, no longer have connection, no longer feel safe around other people. And now, as I've transited through in my life, thank you, Taya, I went to a closed place. We all had to go to a closed place. But I guess I'm different than a lot of people. I've lived my life wide open, heart open, despite getting trashed and hurt and wounded and other things, people taking from me. But acknowledging that I'm not a victim, I chose to do those things. I chose to stay open. I now consciously choose to stay open when people want to take, but I'm now learning to set gentle boundaries, to invite them to give back, to shine my light, allow it to be received by another, but in, I don't want to use the word control, but in a loving embrace, showing balance, because that's how we, I don't like the word either. The first word that came out was tease, but to get an invitation into a person's nervous system to start to open, to be the light that's shining on the flower of another person, and watching them or giving them an invitation for their petals of their face, to their light, to find a safe place to open, to get magic starting to come back between two people so that they don't have to come in with the armor or hiding behind the fence because they've been hurt so many times. Honestly, the only reason we're hurt so many times is we don't have boundaries, or we expect people to do that, or that's all we know because that happened with a parent or early in our life or from a trauma or other things, where once we start to get encouraged to open our light and get excited again and share with people, it opens the world. It opens us. It's a journey to venture into your nervous system that's been harmed, been hurt, been scared before, and to choose to stand consciously open, to sit there and open your heart, put your shoulders back, trust yourself that you can share, you can be light, you can be open, but to have gentle boundaries when people are not respecting that space, respecting balance, the give and receive. You can say, hey, no, I'm just going to move over here because you don't seem to respect who I am and what I'm sharing. And that conscious navigating that happens when you're now choosing yourself and you're choosing self-love and you're choosing to be open in a world where a lot of people aren't open, you're now making choices that can harm you or that can open you and can create gentle boundaries, loving boundaries, self-love, that you can now be open in a place without having to put a full shield of armor on. That's a level of self-mastery that takes a lot of work, because our nervous system is like, let's call it like a Venus flytrap, right? Venus flytrap's wide open and it can snap closed in an instant if it thinks that something's going on or it's afraid or there's a predator in place or whatever. That's our nervous system. It'll go like this and it'll contract and it'll be afraid. And when it's afraid, if we don't have the tools to deal with our trigger, if we don't have the tools to be able to say, okay, I trust myself and I can speak openly to navigate this. If we don't have them, we just smash and crash other people. We hit, or we'll scream, or we'll call them a bad name, or if it's a friend or a lover that we have, we'll shout out their deepest, darkest secret to try and harm them and get them to stop doing what they're doing that's scaring us, because that Venus flytrap is closed. But the opposite of that, so that's like the deepest, darkest, most contracted, our chest is all shriveled in and we don't know what to do and we're just in terror. At that point, we need to breathe. We need to step back. We need to rise above our system and say, okay, what's causing this to contract? Oh, I'm scared. Oh, when am I scared? Why? What's happening? Our lights shut off. But to open our light can start to shine in. It can start to shine into our chest, into our body. We can breathe it in and say, okay, there's something going on here. I want to shine some light on it so I can navigate through this. And then we can start to open, and we can start to grow, and we can start to breathe, and we can start to interpret what's going on in our body. Now all of a sudden our body starts to trust us, and it starts to have less contraction and shine and open. That can be an invitation to another. That can be an invitation to step out of old patterns where we were constantly getting beat up and scared and afraid to shine our light. Well, we're learning as a universal being, as a sovereign being, that we have light and that we can share it, but we don't have to give all of ourselves to someone. We don't have to share in a way that lets people take from us. We can allow universal light, God source light, to shine through us and go into the people around that maybe haven't learned how to be balanced in giving and receiving of energy. And we don't have to lose from ourselves. Our sovereign field, just imagine you're a part of God. You're going out into the world with a whole bunch of other parts of God, and we're merging and bumping into each other, and our fields are touching and all these things, and we have no sovereign boundaries. And I'm not talking boundaries that are like shut off and it's like, stop that, don't ever do that. I'm saying when you interact with another, you go and feel the touch, feel the sensuality of their field touching yours, but you don't have to let that field inside of you and to dominate you or take from you. You can dance with those fields. You can start to play with those fields, but we have no idea who we are. And this is especially something that's really hard for people in sexuality. You go and you merge with the field of another person. Your energies mix, and then everybody's complaining about how they're feeling the shit of the other person afterwards and they dumped in them and all this kind of stuff. That's a lack of boundaries. That's a lack of sovereignty. That's a lack of releasing the other person after this beautiful cosmic event of joining two energies. People need to learn their sovereignty. They don't need to put up all these frigging boundaries and claim that people are taking from them and other things. Those are all choices in your field. If you're going in soft and you don't know what the frick you want, guess what? You're going to get exactly a union, and then you're going to have half the other person's energy and all their crap, and you're going to feel like crap because they're feeling emotions and you're feeling their emotions. Sexuality is a gift of merging two energies. And then the initiation, the key that's needed afterwards is to learn to take your sovereignty back. At the end, say, I release you. Because otherwise, those energies don't know what's them and what's the other person. And then you're lost and you're confused and it fucks you up. This is what life is all about. Sexuality is the deepest, most intimate version of it, but walking around, kissing a person, hugging a person, having a family member, all these kind of things are all interactions of fields. And where's the light in all that? Well, the light is in your purity, in your essence, in your beaming out of who you really are. But if you don't know who you are, or you're afraid that you're going to lose some of yourself to someone just by opening each time, we're lost. We're lost in fear. We're lost in contraction. We're lost in mixing with other people and not even knowing what is us. So shine your light out, but not to give it all to someone or to give it to the world or whatever. No, here's my energy and my vibration. I'm sharing what I'm experiencing. I'm sharing the fact that I can be light, but I don't have to accept people coming into my energy to take because they can't find that for themselves. No, I'm an example. I'm a shining light. I'm a lighthouse. I'm a whatever that shows that this light is possible. And then speaks like this to talk to people, to help them find it for themselves. And it's all about sovereignty. It's all about gentle boundaries, not aggressive, stop that, or fighting people or whatever. Just say, no. You can't come into my energy. You haven't been invited. But I'll share, and you can get excited about it, and you can know, you can follow me, you can talk to me, you can listen to all the stuff that I share. It's not me giving away anything or giving a part of myself. It's giving universal knowledge back to people so that they can make a choice, so they can either agree and take it in and use it to expand, or disagree and stay closed and stay in the shit for a while. All I offer is awareness. Awareness of unconditional love, awareness of sovereignty, awareness of how our sexuality works, awareness of what's going on inside of me, and then sharing it with people so that they can, oh, I got that same question going on, and this is what's going on, etc., etc. But I prefer to be light. I prefer to be love. I prefer not to step in fear, in contraction, into close off, into all this stuff. I prefer to expand. Expand. You can see the light come out of my eyes, my smile, etc. People love that. Like, what's going on for him? Yeah, my life is hell some days. A lot of days. I'm going through, seeing all the shit, etc. But I choose to be light afterwards. Yes, that's dark. That's scary. That makes me feel uncomfortable. This isn't fun, blah, blah, blah. The whole world is trying to crush me, and I keep pushing that little root or leaf that comes out of the ground as a seed and say, hey, I need some sunshine. I need some light. I need to surround myself with people that want to be light sometimes. I fall down sometimes, but more and more and more and more often, I'm the light. How often are you the light? Do you have people you can be light around? What's going on? What's the fear? What's the thing that's closing you off? What's the thing that happened last time that hurt you and took from you and whatever? Go look at it. Shine light on it. Say, okay, did I have sovereign boundaries? Was I making choices? Was I doing things to please others, or was I doing it for me? Because it's all about self-love. So that's the light. That's you opening. That's you expanding. That's you vibrating higher. That's you releasing density. That's you becoming you. So where are you being the light today? Go be some light for someone. Go set some sovereign boundaries. Go have communication that gives you the sovereignty you need to be able to expand into your full light and not worry about people taking from you or not being in balance, because really not being in balance is a choice. And if we say, hey, we're staying in balance and you can't take from me, you can't do all these things, that's just a gentle conversation. Hey, send some love back. Hey, once we're in full balance, this becomes a beautiful dance. And then we can be even more light. We can open even more because we surround people that we can trust, they can communicate to us. It's all about expansion. It's all about self-love. So go look into your light. If you're joining just now, just go back to the beginning of the video. There's a lot of beautiful information showed. And shine. Open. Expand. That's the light. And we need many more people to do that with us. I invite you. Looking forward to seeing you shine. Thank you, Kathy. You're shining every day. Have a good one. Love you all. See you soon. Shine bright like a diamond.